Greetings. So, I hope you're doing all right. And if you're not, know that I know personally it could always be worse or runner up. Get it here. We get disappointments in life. Even when we know it's happened to other people, and we know sometimes it's the natural progression of things. Sometimes we get really disappointed and we feel messy. So, if you're doing well, please do whatever you're doing to continue so. If you're here because you or someone you know has cancer and you're trying alternative medicine instead of the 3-step with the mainstream medical professionals. So what happened to me today is what happens to many people choosing that route. So let me read it to you. This is from my primary care provider. Termination of patient-provider relationship. Excuse me, dear April. Blah, blah, we strive to provide the highest quality of care to all patients. After careful review, we have determined that it is necessary to discontinue our patient-provider relationship with you, effective October 5th, 2025, 30 days from today. This decision is based on 2 primary factors. 1, ongoing non-compliance with recommended treatment plans, which has made it difficult for us to provide effective and coordinated medical care. 2, insurance coverage limitations, as our clinic is not an in-network provider for your insurance plan, which has created ongoing challenges in managing your care and coverage. Then it goes on to say, to ensure smooth transition, we'll provide urgent care needs only, flu, COVID, UTI, etc., until October 5th, and refill necessary prescriptions for that period. We strongly encourage you to establish care with a new provider who may better fit your healthcare preferences and insurance network. Upon request, we will transfer a copy of your medical records to your new provider. Please contact our office if you have any more questions. We wish you the very best in your future health care. Sincerely, my practitioner. So number 1, excuse me, I had already formalized cash pay because this provider is within my affordability. 2, I told him that he didn't necessarily need to feel compelled to make me any prescriptions for health care. I needed more of someone who was going to support any issues that I was having that might need looked at, like x-ray referrals, things like that. Well, evidently, I thought the nurse I talked to was always so friendly, and I told her I was willing to get the what was it? They were going to have me do a sonogram with aspiration, meaning they were going to go in and with a little needle and suck out something. And I said, I'll take the sonogram, but I didn't want aspiration. I was able to get that done and my needs were met. Then with the MRI that I recently expressed, the nurse also told me if I had trouble getting the MRI without contrast, to just call her and then they would have they would change the prescription. When I called there, they refused to do it without contrast. So I called the doctor's office and let them know that I went ahead and canceled that appointment. I thought they were on my side on how I was going forward. So this was quite a disappointment. The one thing that makes me feel a little comforted is that there are other people just like me who have been fired by their practitioner for not doing the biopsy, chemo, radiation, and surgery. Even if it's benign, they want to do surgery and radiation and maybe even some chemo. That's why I'm turning it down. That, and because there are a lot of studies by very good researchers and doctors who are following the protocol that, or who've invented the protocol and have participated in patients that are doing the protocol and have seen it work wonders, miracles. Does it work for every single body? No. Am I encouraging you to try what I'm trying? No. What I'm doing is sharing my story. I believe we should have a choice in our healthcare. I believe that healthcare providers should not be the steering wheel. I think they should be the engine. I don't know if that's a good example, but you know, I want to steer my own car. I want to steer it myself, and if I can get some help through my local practitioner, that would be great. So it looks like I'm going to have to find a new practitioner, and I'm going to give one more a chance here in town, since the oncologist in town won't see me without a biopsy. That's what his nurse or receptionist said. They refused to even give him a message. So if this other doctor doesn't work out, I am thinking of just getting them as a doctor and not talking about cancer whatsoever or about my tumor whatsoever. When my records get transferred, I'll just deny, I guess, because I still want a healthcare provider if something goes wrong, and they do take my insurance. So I don't mean wrong with the cancer. I mean, if I get pneumonia or damage myself in some way, I'm going to need someone to help me repair, like let's just say kidney failure or liver failure or something like that. Then I'll start following doctor's directions. Probably I'll just leave the cancer thing to the side and just say I don't want to treat it. So we'll see. But
What are you hiding?
I'm on a call. I'm not hiding anything. I'm spilling the beans. So I'll just have to, it's big money, but you can get they're called functional doctors online. And that's, if you get curious, please look up Joe Tippins. That's a great starting point. Joe Tippins protocol. So you'll know that I'm not crazy. And there's quite a few interviews of him online. And also Raymond Rasmussen. He's also not crazy, and he's written a book, and he's got several interviews online. There's a group called the Cancer Crew, and they also have some videos online and you can find these all on YouTube. Also, Dr. John Campbell on YouTube. He has interviewed some of the biggest and best researchers on the planet, who also, you know, the cancer research, there are a lot of things that have been working really well, but they won't nobody will fund them because of the extra money they're getting from Soros, Gates, whatever, they've said if you mess with them, you don't get my big bucks. So a lot of this research has been shut down. Plus, I mean, if they're not going to get the money from the big wigs, who are they going to get the money from? A lot of little people. Now, a lot of people have said they would definitely sign up to be research participants. But it takes money. You got to fly there. You got to meet with them so they can take some tests and go through your health records, see if there's anything else going on, which I've been doing. I've been doing my own labs. So I've been collecting those in a folder. So as long as I check my labs and see that I'm stable, I'll continue or take a break and then continue like I have recently. Today I just ordered the Galleri cancer screening test. It's pricey. It's $945, something like that. And then I'll take the kit that they mail to me into the blood draw place here in town called Any Lab Now, and have them draw it up, and I'll pay them for drawing it, and then they'll send it off, and then I'll get the results that they said in about 2 weeks. But one thing that they do, it's called Galleri Cancer Screening Test. Only Galleri. That's the one. Anything else I don't trust at this point. But when you fill out, or you have to go through some check boxes, they want to know what brought you to them. And so you check a box, either your doctor did. So then if that's true, then they want your doctor's information. So I said, no, this is self-prescribed. And then it'll ask you, do you currently have cancer? And if you check yes, it'll say, we won't be able to help you. You'll have to go through your clinician, your physician. So I clicked no, because everybody carries a small amount of cancer cells. They will almost always show up. So this Galleri test might show a small amount, or just show that there are certain markers. But as long as it is still going to be useful. But the last breast cancer test I took showed very, very low markers, and the tumor has gone way down. So that's got to be a good sign. And when I compare it with the other side, you can tell how much smaller it is. So I feel like I'm on the right track. I'm sharing this with you because I think all of us should make a YouTube video sharing this kind of poor excuse for insurance management and physician management, instead of allowing themselves to be researchers, experimenters. Doctors weren't supposed to fit a cookie cutter. They were supposed to go by individual treatment. When Rockefeller got involved years ago, he ended up marrying the pharmaceutical companies. And there's a really good video on that on the ECAC-T website, genuine ECAC-T website, not the other ones, but the genuine ECAC-T. They have a film in there that you watch, the old black and white one, that's showing real footage of what I'm talking about. It's not a conspiracy theory. Please believe me. Protect yourself. Follow your gut and your instincts. Live your best life until you live no more. That's what I plan on doing. Now that I'm not as tired as I was, I have a lot more energy. I'm just disappointed with the obstacles I've had to experience with my own health care. And I'm not the only one. I am now a paying member of the Cancer Crew. And there's a whole group, and the membership is growing. And there are people who have done the usual route at least once, and sometimes multiple times. And a lot of them have been told to go home and die, that they'd only have months to live, and some less. And they've tried some of these protocols. Not everyone is doing the same thing. They're just sharing their own stories. And excuse me, I ate something I'm sensitive to. It'll pass. But it's a great group for, and if you're a physician or if you're in mental health, it's definitely worth the $100 membership. Right now, it's at the ground level of coordinating this group, the website, and the different things that they're doing on there. So there are a lot of people like me in there sharing their story. So there are some amazing success stories, and there are some people who are living better lives than they would if they continued for their 4th and 5th time on chemo and radiation, and they're doing this, and they're finding that they're stabilizing. There have been, since I've been a member, a couple people who have passed away, and it's sad. There are some people on there that are caretakers for a family member, and they're trying to get their loved one to try something new and different. And there are actually people who are on their last leg and still refuse to just try something unusual, something new. If you're going to die anyway, why not try something that isn't going to harm you? The only reason I had liver trouble, I am convinced, is because I tried all of the protocols at once. I didn't have the patience to try one protocol at a time. And that is old behavior for me. If 1 is good, 6 is better. So live and learn. Also, I'm sharing my story on there. I'm sharing those exact words on there. This is what I did. This is what happened. And now I'm taking a liver enzyme test every week after I got off everything. And my points are finally, they were 600 and something, 800 and something, very seriously high. Thank goodness. Evidence shows in my labs that it's not a chronic or permanent issue. And each week my numbers have come down 200 points. So now I'm at just one number below like the normal range, just one number below. So they're saying, keep an eye on it. And the other one, I am 4 points above or 9 points above. And they're just saying, keep an eye on it. Keep doing what you're doing, the 16-8 fast, 16-8 fast. And I feel great about it. And I've taken other tests. The breast cancer test I told you about showed very low numbers, just barely out of normal range. So that's not surprising considering being on the protocol as long as I was before I took the test. So I'm very grateful for that. Also, I'm going to remind you, the chest x-rays, the sonogram, and the mammogram only showed one very small tumor. And they wanted to aspirate it. I mean, it's as big as a rice kernel. So it's a little bit bigger than that, but I've been off of the protocol for several weeks. So now I'm back on it. I started back yesterday or day before. I got to write it down on my calendar. I'm trying to track every day. So it should be shrinking again. It worked before, it'll work again. And if I got this far, even if I push my liver a little bit, it's better having tiredness from the liver issue and then take another break to bring it down than to have cancer, in my opinion. I'm going to start looking at the trade-offs. I will check my liver again. We'll keep track of that. And I'm also getting the Galleri test. They go through it, that's what I wanted to tell you about. So that Galleri test I ordered. So you answer the questionnaire, and if they don't like the answer, I'm not telling you what to do. I just went in and changed my answer, and then it went through. So now it went through, and they said it could be up to 3 days before they contact me and let me know I'm eligible for the test, and then it could take 2 weeks to get to me. And then, or they'll send it right away, but up to 2 weeks. And then once I get the blood drawn and they send it in, it could take up to 2 weeks to get the results mailed to me. So I'm very excited about that. I want to send a shout out to a dear friend across the pond. I am terrible at email, and I'm going to try to get better. I do have a couple other emails to return as well, so please forgive me. I'm just terrible at it, but I've never been good at keeping in touch, but I'm really have tried to put an effort in doing better. So anyway, I hope you're doing okay, and I wish I were there to help support you through all this. I'm just so glad you have loving people around you. What a blessing. What a blessing. And I have to tell you, I have been very impressed with a couple people in my life who have been showing up. People are really scared to talk about this. People will say, oh, if there's anything I can do, let you know, as they're, changing the subject or walking out the door or whatever, because it's a scary topic. And people don't like getting that emotional. People don't like discussing something that they're afraid of too. Right? I remember having work companions, and once it happened to me when I was in school and my sister passed away, is people are there and they'll say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. If there's anything I can do. And as they're, walking and passing you, I have had a couple people in my life when I've gone through something tough who really were willing to listen and support and encourage and pray with me. So find those people and grab onto them if you can. Otherwise, look for support groups like Cancer Crew, who does not tell you what to do or what protocols to use. And if you don't use any of them, you're just venting about cancer. You're just talking about what you're going through. All of the drugs, all of the surgeries, all of the chemo, all the radiation, and just share how you're feeling about it. Your experience with your doctors. It's a great support group, regardless of which journey you're taking or if it's your 6th journey. They're really great about that. What else was I going to tell you? I think my sponsor's going to call me here pretty soon, so I should probably get off of here. I don't want to miss her call because I want to vent to her. I want to complain about this letter. I thought about sending them a pamphlet that was printed out of all the research that's been done on the drugs that I'm taking. Repurposed drugs is what they call it, out on the internet. But then I thought, let it go with love. There's absolutely nothing I'm going to teach them that's going to be helpful in encouraging them to support me, because they have their issues with the insurance companies and who they're being paid by, and they don't want someone on their docket that's not going to follow protocol, because he told me he didn't want to be responsible for me hurting myself or doing more damage or what have you. And I told him, I'm not looking for you to do any of that. Matter of fact, we don't even have to talk about cancer or anything. I just want to see if you can help me do these things, and if you can't, I understand. So I thought we were on the same page. So that's why this was disappointing. If you have any questions, please don't be afraid to email me. I will get back to you. I usually will email back with answers to questions. But when, like with Dorothy and Rainey and Angie and a couple of you, please don't be mad at me because my mind is a little scattered on names right now. Oh, as always. When I really want to share feelings and be creative with what I want to share and say and respond to your feelings, it takes me a while to really construct an email in a meaningful way. With my dyslexia, it takes a while. If it's a question, I'm pretty good at giving an answer. And I really care. I care about you and your journey. Ugh, I need some hot tea. So there you go. Pretty frustrating. Pretty frustrating. I'm much calmer now. So thank you for listening. I was pretty riled up. So disappointed. I don't know why some of the young people aren't really focused on true political pushes to help the insurance company reestablish their protocols, their boundaries, their rules and regulations. So much money to be made in doing it the way they're doing, but it's not good customer service. I'm sorry. I mean, why tie the hands of doctors? Why do that? I don't mean just our price, our cost. I mean, why not let doctors be creative? Let them be researchers and scientists. Let them have an open mind. It's just disappointing the way money and big pharma have gotten this tied down. In my opinion. In my opinion. It's not conspiracy theory. If you start digging, you'll see what I'm saying is true. All right. I care. So, I'm going to let you go and get back to it. Bye for now.